Greetings, Soul Tribe. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I'm sending you so much love in this timeless now moment. Whenever you receive this message, there are breadcrumbs for everyone here. So stay tuned. You might get activated. I laugh so hard because it's true. You will. But today I've had some things heavy, not just today, just in general, hearing it, feeling it, and I wanted to come online and share it. This is our everyday life as adults, as daughters, as girlfriends, wives, mothers, fathers, just as humans in general, as light beings. Um, so I wrote down what I want to talk about. It's letting your children go, letting your children grow, letting your children grow, letting your children go. So it goes both. It's when they're during their youth and then once they're adults. There's so many people out there that are feeling like they are responsible for how their children grew up as an adult. So I just wanted to really step in here and have you look at things from a different perspective, a new set of eyes. For one, we are not responsible for how the path our children choose once they are adults, because they have choice. When they're young, they have no choice. So how they were raised may have to do with how they go an adult, but they have a choice whenever it's time for them to adult. They could do better and be better. So this leads into the whole being a victim or being a warrior, holding yourself in guilt or trucking through it and rising above, being inspiration, being empowered. So a lot of parents, even young parents, old parents, it doesn't even matter. They raise their children the best way they could at that time. And sometimes, a lot of the times we're unhealed as parents. And we go through the process, we're going through our own shit as we are raising our children. Right? But once they're grown, 18 and up, you have to cut the cord. It's hard because you're like, oh, they need our help. You need to give them space to grow is what I believe. You could be support, but don't enable them. Don't enable them from growing and becoming and learning. Don't enable them to be a victim of this, because it's just, this world is a lot. And it's a lot of learning, a lot of lessons. And we cannot say we made a lot of mistakes, because that puts us in that victim mentality of mistakes. How about we learned a lot of lessons, because they're not repeating itself. Mistakes, you could auto-correct mistakes and then you can make more and more and more. But learning lessons, sometimes it's one time to learn a lesson. Sometimes it's twice. Dang it, if it's 3 times to learn a lesson, because we're stubborn. But it happens. And we cannot hold ourselves in guilt for that. So as our children grow into the humans that they are going to turn into, and guys, let's be real. After they're like 12, 13, 14, they're becoming their own. They're having their own set of friends. They're creating and manifesting their what they think adult life is going to be. So what we could support our children and guide them like that, but we can't choose for them. Once we release them into school, the systems and stuff like that, and then life, we can't choose for them. It's a choice. So this one is really close to my heart, because I have 4 other sisters other than me. I'm the youngest one. And I feel that sometimes, my mom feels guilty for how maybe some of her daughters turned out. I don't know. I do. Actually, I do. Like she feels like, that's my daughter. I'm still going to support her. I'm still going to allow her to abuse me. And I'm gonna allow her to, to go back and forth and talk to me like shit. I'm gonna allow her to do toxic things. You know what I mean? She's enabling it. And, you know, I'll, again, grown people, you know, I mean, you just have to release it and forgive yourself. You Sometimes, I remember even my sisters were like, you don't know how I was treated as a kid. You don't know how dad treated us. My dad's a warrior, by the way. He had 5 daughters. Some of them were kind of wild. So if I was my dad, I would have been locking them up and putting a chastity belt on it. Let's be real, guys. Let's be honest. Let's not talk about the victim, and I want to share this because this is a real thing. This is like being on both sides. A parent, as I am, and my children are grown. My son's doing amazing. My daughter's finding her way. So and I'm giving. They have freedom of choice, and I don't hold myself guilty to how they were raised, how they turned out. I'm happy. They're gonna live their own life. They have a choice to choose what's right and what's wrong, choose to grow or choose to be slow down and figure it out. I mean, either way, being supportive, it's a thing. Just be there. But don't be blind. Don't enable. Like my children are not going to live with me till they're 24, 22. No. You know what I mean? And this is me giving the push to many adults and letting them be free and not feeling guilty because I'm saying, hey, you got to go. It's time for you to grow and figure it out. No, it's go find your freedom, go figure it out. Get your drive, be driven. I was out of my house at 18. I went back once for a couple of months and I was never back. And because of that, I grew, I learned lessons. I stopped thinking things were a mistake and realized that they're lessons. I pushed myself. I was driven by my own empowerment. If I ever needed anything, my mom and my dad were there. But I made sure that I did it. I did life. So let's take a look at certain things, with children and being the child at one time. So sometimes some people, they could be older and grown in their 40s, 50s, and still be in that mentality of, you don't know how I was treated up until the age of like 17, 16, 17. You don't know how disciplined we were, how spanked and just, my dad was probably angry for one, because my sisters were not being the best version of themselves, that's for sure. And I try to like make it seem, give this medicine as not a form of anger or sadness, but a form of awareness. Awareness is so healing. It's like our parents did the best they could with what they had, just like we did the best we could with what we had, and be proud. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. Why? We learn our lessons and everything works out. So if you have children that are in adult mode, 20s, 30s, 40s, that are still holding you as, this is why I turned out the way I am, free yourself from that, because they have a choice to change. They are adults now. They cannot hold you or anybody accountable for who they are today and why they're still doing the same shit. If it's low vibration or high vibration, it goes both ways. If your child, it's like doing amazing and successful and went to college and all that stuff, still, that's a choice. You supported your children the best way you knew you could. You did the best you could with what you had, and they're doing it. And they had a choice once they went into adulthood to go to college, to do the best version of themselves. It's always been a choice. Be proud. Either way, be proud. Be proud of who you are and what you did, and that we're here. If you're here and you're listening to this, let this be a message of empowerment and courage and strength. Release what no longer serves you. Stretch that shit out. Stretch out that guilt. You didn't go to games because you were working your ass off to support your family. You couldn't go to football games. Stretch that shit out that your child may have gotten pregnant when they were younger. Stretch that shit out. Let that shit go. That child dropped out of college, whatever your case may be. Your child doesn't talk to you anymore, because they're grown and they're doing their life. Let it go. Heal yourself. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to be lighter and let yourself know that you did the best you could with what you have. And doing the best you are today in your now moment with what you got, with the lessons you've learned. If you want to think of things as mistakes corrected, because you can correct mistakes. And that's by learning the lessons in this life, because that's what we're here for, to learn lessons. And you know what? Good things happen, or bad things happen to good people. Shit can happen to good people. But with whatever lessons that we've learned, that when we had those shitty experiences, we have to transmute that energy into the lessons of life that we've learned and empower that. How do we feed that to the light? How do we feed this low vibration that happened to us, like sadness, like why me, why me? How do we get out of that and turn it into being the warrior and not the victim? You take yourself out of the situation, stretch it out like the badass you are, because you're a badass. If you're here, you're a badass. I don't care. They can't tell us nothing. Right? So you shake that out. You take a look at the whole situation. Really take a look at the whole situation. Don't try to be smooth about it. Just see it for what it really is. Call your own shit out. That's a warrior. Calling your own shit out. Be like, you know what? Okay. And then you can see a different perspective and be like, you know what? If that would have been me, which it was, I would have done the same thing which you did, and I think that maybe I was a little harsh, which maybe you were, but it was very needed because I had to see things for what they are now. So next time, if that was to ever come about, that's if you didn't learn your lesson. If you're following me, it may happen again, or you may be tested. I'm gonna look at and do things differently. I'm gonna respond, react, take action differently, and it's a thing. We empower ourselves so much. It's just such an amazing feeling. So the moral of this rant session is stop holding yourself a prisoner of guilt. Stop putting your heart in ache for what was when you did the best you could with what you had. When we're raising 5 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid, being a single mom, or maybe having to give your child up because you couldn't take care of your child, whatever the case may be, you did the best with what you had. And this is going out to a couple of you people out there that I already know. And I love you. And I understand. And I don't only understand, I understand. There's sympathy and there's empathy. I feel you. I feel it. And I send you so much love. So may these words come to you as healing. May these words that I speak today be empowering. May it flush out all the energy of like shittery and give you a new beginning of thought. May it confirm your thoughts already that you've already had as you healed this. And may you empower somebody else today to help them to realize that we're always doing the best we could with what we have. And when our children grow up to be whoever they choose to be, that's their choice. And they cannot hold us as the reason of their existence, of who they are, if it's a high vibration or a low vibration. If they choose to be, they choose to be. We could just be within ourselves, within love. We only have control of ourselves. So let our thoughts be healed. Disconnect the cords, the umbilical cords. Disconnect that and just send out love with whatever choice they have. And be guilt-free. Be free. Guilt-free freedom. freedom within, freedom to love, freedom to forgive yourself, freedom to forgive others. To be honest, I think some people, they allow their kids to be shitty to them as they're adults, like real adults, because they feel that they weren't enough raising their children. They could have done better. They could have been better. And that's not the case. We don't allow nobody to treat us like shit. Nobody. Ooh, did you see that orb? Exactly. That was an orb. Gotta look again. We do not allow nobody to treat us like that. You shouldn't. Protect your energy and your space. We have light. We are the light. We have a lot of awakening to do. We have a lot of healing to do. If you would like to book a one-on-one session or a private session or a session with me and Shiram, energy work. Ooh, I've been doing some work today, all week. I'll tell you what, the energies, you guys out there, we flush that out. It's good stuff. 30 minutes to an hour. If you feel like you need that clearing, that compassion, that blockage removal, get a hold of me. Healing Spirits emerge. We do it online. We set aside a block of time in this timeless now, and we do it. Or you can also email me. I will send you a meditation that can help as well. Or I could pre-record for you and send it to you, so you do not have to be on here live with Moa. The energy works the same. So I'd like to offer you these codes really, really quick. Yavusha washua mbawa wata I wa ata I ata mba e ya shaka mata. Tashiki maha, removing some blockages in your heart. Tasha yiti nikida ati la mbasheti akama kashikida. This also goes for those who feel like you're also holding your parents responsible for how you turned out, and the depression and all the anxiety that you have. It's asking for you to look at things from a different lens. And continue to be the warrior you are, doing the work, clearing out that bullshit. With so much love. No more anger, no more fear, no more stagnation. Shawukadana ayata number hate shatana umbata, we heal with love. Yakua pateshi anate, it is real. Ya ata ini atasha katamata ya na umahaya tashata. Unlocking the heart space. Vasheki ate na ana ata, we glow with love. Yana umbai shiki tania maoa. If you need a longer session to help with this, email me. Let's set something up. I love you so much. Mwah. Have an amazing day. Know you're a badass. You know what? Live the best day of your life. Live your best now of your life. Change your thoughts. Change your life. Vibe at your highest frequency that you can. Smile. I love you all. Do you guys remember who I am yet? Look, do you remember me yet? Maybe my night angle when I'm in tune, when I'm about to start my day, but you guys will. You will remember who I am, and I love you.